Tzu Chi annually sends aid and stationery to the Maulana Orphanage School in Zimbabwe since 2006. Tang Meiyun Opera travels to Malaysia, attracting the attention of the media and filling the seats in the theater.
I'm Sean Scanlan. This is DaAi Headlines. On the outskirts of the capital of Zimbabwe is the Maulana Orphanage School. Tzu Chi volunteers have been caring for the school since 2006, sending them stationery and daily necessities every year. Children's songs greet these visiting Tzu Chi volunteers. This is the capital of Zimbabwe, where Maulana Orphanage School is located in the community of Epworth. Tzu Chi volunteers sent stationery, blankets, and rice to support these children.
Epworth, we have many children who are not afford even to go to school, and who are suffering from starvation problems. As a result of Tzu Chi Foundation, the community is benefiting, and our children also, they are now able to proceed with their education.
There are more than 700 impoverished students in the school, and more than 70% of them are orphans. Zimbabwe Tzu Chi volunteers began caring for them in 2006. In addition to delivering aid materials, they also shared their compassion and encouragement.
Today's events teach us that in life, we should have mutual help. Many children in the school have no lunch to eat. If they need help cooking lunch later, I can contribute my own personal efforts.
The supplies sent by Tzu Chi have helped us a lot. I hope they can always help us like this.
Children use a traditional dance performance to give back and entertain Tzu Chi volunteers, showing the power of love which has inspired those even in this remote area.
Half of the population of Lesotho lives in poverty. Tzu Chi volunteers have long been providing aid for people in this area, even inviting them to donate to Cyclone Idai. A foot washing event was also held for young volunteers to express their filial piety to senior volunteers.
Lesotho, a landlocked country surrounded by South Africa, is located on the plateau and is known as Kingdom in the Sky. Before the arrival of the cold winter, loving care from Tzu Chi always arrives first. Half of the population lives on less than $1 a day. They regard the bags of rice from Taiwan as treasures. They place the blankets they have received respectfully, paying back to the volunteers' goodness with sincerity.
Thank you, Chichi.
Mozambique, Malawi, Zimbabwe.
After hearing that their neighboring countries were severely affected by tropical cyclone Idai, they also carry out the act of giving. The small lunchbox is used to gather everyone's compassion. In May, the Buddha Day ceremony was held at the Tzu Chi retreat in Maseru. The venue was set up with fresh leaves as decoration. Right after, the ceremony was a foot washing activity being held to express filial piety. Young volunteers helped wash senior volunteers' feet, as well as serving them food and cake. Residents from 72 different communities came to donate their bamboo coin banks. Volunteers' resonant singing voice inspired many people's compassion. In total, $710 was raised, which is equivalent to their annual income. Although most people live in poverty in this country, their spirits and soul can be fulfilled with everyone's love and goodness.
After the strong earthquake in Ecuador 2 years ago, the care of Tzu Chi volunteers was never interrupted. Besides promoting work for relief, they also assisted in the reconstruction of the homeland. The only church in Canoa was destroyed in the earthquake, and with the assistance of Tzu Chi, the rebuilding was finally completed.
July 13th will be remembered as a day of hope in Canoa, as the small Ecuadorian town celebrates the inauguration of its new church and community center, rebuilt after it was destroyed by a terrible earthquake in April of 2016, a project entirely financed by Tzu Chi. Tzu Chi volunteers from the United States, South America and Taiwan attended the ceremony. with them, the people of Canoa and members of the church.
La sabiduría
The wisdom of Buddhism helps the human being in its growth and is now being to us Catholics.
lo recibimos nosotros.
The ceremony featured choreography, sign language performances, and a dance by the church kitchen staff. It was a day of celebration and unity, a day in which to contemplate the past and look towards the future with a sense of confidence and optimism.
Tell your children what compassion and relief can do for everyone, because it will bring the hope to every corner in the whole world.
In Ecuador, the Work for Relief program for the reconstruction of a religious complex in Canoa was completed. Local residents participated in the whole process from the beginning to end. Step by step, the residents were united and their spirit helped complete this important mission.
The newly rebuilt church in Canoa is not the only gift that has been given by Tzu Chi to the local population. Another one, completely immaterial, is equally, if not more important.
Other than the material work, a great example, a great lesson that the Tzu Chi Foundation has given us is that together, united, we can achieve a great deal.
No matter what religion or race you are, love doesn't divide us in Tzu Chi. After the earthquake, Canoa was not overtaken. Canoa is standing up instead. I see such a great place of worship. They provide such a good place for people's spiritual needs here. The church is already finished, yet it gives us the ability to get more volunteers to include in our Tzu Chi family.
The local involvement with Tzu Chi in the last 3 years transcended the mere help for the rebuilding. People also proudly started their own bamboo banks, and in occasion of the ceremony, 4 of them were returned full. At the end of this beautiful journey together, there is just one thing left to ask.
Do you like the church?
¿Les gusta la iglesia?
Thank you.
Hermosísima. Majestuoso. Es más hermosa que la que teníamos.
It's a monumental work, and really, it's one that people need to value a lot.
A beautiful thing was something missing, a handsome person, but without a heart. That was all of us without our church.
Canoa's heart is back, pulsating with joy, faith, and hope.
A woman who suffers from depression lives near the seaside in Geelong. For many years, her roof was in bad repair. This led her to become anxious and concerned. After Tzu Chi volunteers were contacted by a social worker, they came to repair her roof, relieving one of her worries.
Aman's home is right next to the seaside in Geelong. The beautiful sea view can be seen from the balcony. But due to the influence of sea breeze for many years, the iron frames and roofs of the sheet metal house have been severely damaged.
I don't have extra money to repair the roof, so I keep thinking about it. I do not have the mood to eat and I cannot sleep well. I am very worried every day.
The roof is badly rusted and broken too, so when it rains, the living room and the walls will leak.
Aman has a history of depression, and she was once sent to hospital for emergency treatment because she swallowed some poison. After learning about this from a social worker, Tzu Chi came to care for her and learned that the roof problems made her more anxious. Tzu Chi immediately found someone to help her repair the roofs.
It went smoothly and they started to repair my home. Thanks a million. I am very thankful.
After 5 days of renovation, the iron frames and roof boards have been replaced with durable, sea wind-resistant stainless steel materials. Each iron column has also been checked thoroughly to ensure that Aman can live safely. The volunteers will also continue to provide her with love and companionship in the days to come.
The Tang Meiyun Taiwanese Opera Group is in Malaysia for 2 performances. The event has attracted the attention of the local media, with many eager to watch this performance.
The performances on Master Tzu Chi by the Tang Meiyun Taiwanese Opera Group in Malaysia filled the theater to capacity and won a lot of applause.
Although they are a troupe, they still promote Buddhism. What they do is not different from what we Buddhist masters do.
The 2 performances attract a lot of local attention. A business group from Taiwan even came to see it. The audiences are moved by Master Tzu Chi's diligence.
I feel the teachings he said are very wonderful, so we should watch it and take it to heart.
Buddha's teachings are to make people wonderful and righteous and filled with kindness.
They will have 12 performances in Singapore and Malaysia. So far, every performance has been filled to capacity. At the end of every performance, the audience buys copies of Master Tzu Chi because they want to know more about him.
Buddhism is very profound and we only know the surface of it. The show can make people know Buddhism better and understand it better.
They came to perform a charity show. We should come to see it when we have time. This is a good thing.
The enthusiastic responses from the audiences are the best force in promoting Buddhism.
On the last day of Master Zheng Yan's tour in Taiwan, a number of local recycling stations were visited. Volunteers even turned discarded items into useful things freely available to the general public.
At Dazhu Recycling Station, the volunteers have turned many discarded items into useful things that the public are welcome to take home. Using a sewing machine, unwearable jeans can be turned into a backpack, and unwanted fabric from DaAi technology has been turned into a scarf. Master Zheng Yan came to Baojing Recycling Station. The volunteers, young, old, male, and female, are diligent in doing recycling. Although it is very hard, the volunteers show no signs of fatigue and do their best to keep the environment clean.
随手丢掉的粪扫，那咱去甲伊回收转来啦，就安尼将垃圾整理变成了呢干净，再分类。上欢喜的就是人人做甲欢喜充满。
The volunteers have also set up a new venue for the public to listen to the master's teachings and do good deeds.
We think that we want everyone to go to places near their homes, so we've made an adjustment in Taoyuan and allowed the volunteers to come here and listen to the master's teachings.
Master Zheng Yan also came to bar the grounds. The construction is not completed, but the master hopes more people will join Tzu Chi and expand good deeds.
The 2019 Tzu Chi Educational Team Building Camp concluded successfully. On July 14th, 544 participants joined, including Tzu Shao's, Tzu Jing's, DaAi mothers, and others. All of the participants learned a lot through the 3-day camp.
The 2019 Tzu Chi Educational Team Building Camp concluded successfully. Tzu Chi volunteers have learned to reflect, change their mindset, and then influence students.
I can teach students to learn to control their emotions. Sometimes I may lose my temper easily at home to my children and husband. I will practice more to control my emotions and cultivate empathy.
Different from previous years, this year's 3-day camp adds more innovative activities. This allows volunteers to learn by doing and apply this to teaching methods.
We have to encourage children to take initiative to learn. Through a variety of activities, the children can learn hands-on. Besides, they can also learn to reflect. After this, they can practice what they have learned and share their experiences.
Although these innovative activities make the participants feel new, they should remind themselves not to forget the essence of Tzu Chi.
It is good to learn new teaching methods, but please remember to integrate the spirit of Tzu Chi into the course. This will help show everyone's positive energy, and love can truly be passed down to children.
To carry out their educational missions, the participants showcase their innovations and cooperate with each other. They all hope to help children to grow with the concept of right value.
The Tzu Chi Educational Team Building Camp allowed participants to explore the theme When Buddhism Meets the Modern Generation. Volunteers designed many interesting activities to allow everyone to get in touch with their inner voice.
Holding each other's hand tightly and moving forward on the pastel mats, all the team members work together to reach their goal. The venue is loud and lively.
经过很困难的游戏挑战之后，产生内心的很多情绪，自责、生气。
After this challenging test, they may exhibit emotions such as self-blame, anger, and excitement. When they face their emotions, they can learn to accept them and find their own value.
There were physical activities as well as quiet meditations, allowing participants to relax, let go of their emotions, and listen to their inner voice.
I'm quite nervous each time I participate in something like this and I can't sleep, but then I was feeling very relaxed and comfortable both mentally and physically now.
The fun card games are meant to teach these students how to distinguish right from wrong and then adjust their behaviors. Tzu Chi volunteers from central districts have invented these fun courses, hoping to cultivate children with Buddhist teachings through games.
从观念上面去做起从正念开始，从觉察自己开始去改变。那这个觉察。
We must keep a righteous mind and understand ourselves. That's how we can change. From these changes, we can adapt and design a course for children to guide them. I think that's a very great start.
Change can start from this moment. These Tzu Chi volunteers have shouldered their educational mission and brought the right values to students with creative and innovative teaching methods.
Prenatal screening requires only 1 drop of blood to screen for 30 rare diseases. For families that already have a history of rare disease, amniocentesis can be used to determine genetic defects, as experts advise couples to receive genetic testing as part of their checkup.
Many of these he's worn before, like this one of his gym clothes. He wore this the day he passed. We changed him into it that morning. It probably doesn't smell like him now.
Going through her son's belongings, Mrs. Su wishes she had just one more day with her second son. The young boy at 3 months old was diagnosed with atypical hemolytic uremic syndrome.
血浆置换跟洗肾。
这么小就洗肾？
因为他就是尿都没有出来啦，所以马上就是先做洗肾。
Later, the treatment changed to injecting therapeutic complement inhibitors, but the son still passed away in 2015. Mrs. Tzu not only had to accept the fact that her son had a rare disease, but was also subject to further criticism.
老二跟老大只间隔1岁就。
My oldest and second son is only 1 year and 9 months apart. My neighbors would say to my mother, "It's because when your daughter was pregnant, she carried the older one. That's why the second one had problems."
就是有问题的孩子就对了。
Mrs. Tzu looks at the situation from a different perspective and knows her son was able to complete their affinity. She also knows that her child's condition was due to a genetic abnormality.
绝大多数都是遗传基因上的一个病变。
Most is gene mutation. In the mystery of decoding our genetics, we still have so much to learn. Even though we can sequence the entire gene, in dealing with the health of rare disease, we still have much to learn.
人类的一个身体健康状况这个过程呢，事实上还有很多未知的领域。
人身上大概有25000个基因，那平均每个人。
The human body has about 25,000 genes, and averaging 5 to 10 of those are defective genes that we don't know about. Currently, premarital gene testing is difficult. We have the skills and technology. It's just not feasible for the market right now.
大概我们现在目前都还没有进行。
Zhen Mingjie has been involved in rare disease for 20-some years, as his son is the world's 26th diagnosed case of having Lucy metabolism disorder. He feels instead of hoping for a healthy child, it's better to take action for it.
为了要能够防治原来第一胎的罕见疾病，不要在第二胎当中复制造成。
In preventing a second child having the same rare disease as the first, we can conduct amniocentesis on the mother to check the fetus. If the fetus is found to carry the same developmental abnormalities, under our current system, the parents can choose to terminate the pregnancy.
基因的缺损的时候，那在我们现在目前法律的架构之下，那么是可以允许我们家长选择人工引产。
With her history of rare disease in the family, Mrs. Tzu is subsidized by the Taiwan Foundation for Rare Disease for prenatal screenings. However, she can't help but worry now that she's pregnant again at the age of 40.
检测出来的话，他是说
My second son has 2 gene mutations. One was the rare disease, the other was minor. This child, the testing showed he didn't have the rare disease, but the minor one is still present. The doctor feels we can look at the situation positively.
只是他觉得我们可以乐观面对啦。
是几周的时候找的？
那时候25吧。
As prevention is better than treatment, the Health Promotion Administration is increasing the newborn screening test from the current 11 rare diseases to 21 starting October of this year, so that if need be, babies can receive the best treatment in time and grow up to be a healthy adult.
A vegetarian banquet was held in Pingdong, enjoyed by members of Pingdong Police Precinct and Tzu Chi volunteers. We will leave you with these images. Goodbye.